Some people say that to qualify as a true car enthusiast, you have to, at least once in your life, own an Alfa Romeo. But that implies that although Alfa has always produced a range of very beautiful cars that are as fun to drive as they are to look at, they often came with a sacrifice. Perhaps it was dubious reliability, or bodywork that oxidized as fast as a cheap wine. Or maybe it was their focus on more sporty models in favour of practical. But now, there's an Alfa Romeo that could blow that theory out of the water forever.
The Stelvio is Alfa's SUV foray, and it brings a new level of practicality to the Italian family with all-wheel drive, boosted ground clearance and a big wagon boot, along with the stunning looks you might expect. And as this is the high-performance Q flagship, it has the punch to match too. Today, I want to find out if this is the first Alfa Romeo to be offered without compromise. Skip to the parts you're most interested in using the progress bar, and if you like this video, give us a like and hit subscribe.
For 2021, Alfa Romeo has updated the entire Stelvio range, including this, the Q flagship. Not that you'd know it from the outside, because aesthetically speaking, nothing has changed. And why would you want to? That beautiful Alfa Romeo beak dominating the front end, and I've got real bonnet vents because this is the flagship Performance Q. And what about these amazing wheels? 20 inches forged alloy. I love that design. It looks like it's made mostly of air. And they've got a huge offset to accommodate these 6-piston brake calipers. The Quadrifoglio Verde badge to let everyone know that you're driving the top of the range Stelvio. Fattened wheel arches to accommodate wider rubber, and those lovely elegant coupe-like proportions. At the back end it's practical too, with a 525 litre boot that expands to 1600 litres if you fold the rear seats. But this is the updated version, so it gets some new things on the inside. When the Stelvio launched, it had a tiny little centrally mounted screen here. It looked very deficient and didn't have many applications in it, but now they've updated it. It measures 8.8 inches and it's touchscreen at last. That's a huge improvement. There's also loads more driver assistance systems. I've got traffic sign recognition, adaptive cruise control, a blind spot assistant, loads more safety and assistance systems, which is a huge plus. Beyond that, the interior looks pretty much the same. I love this two-tone French stitching on the leather dashboard, this lovely carbon fibre steering wheel, carbon fibre everywhere actually, and if you've got a spare $7,000, you can have Sabelt carbon fibre seats as well. Lovely. But you know what hasn't changed? What's under the bonnet, and that's a very good thing. Allow me to demonstrate. That engine is a masterpiece. 375 kilowatts and 600 newton meters of torque, all out of 2.9 litres. How does it do it? Two small but extremely hyperactive turbos. It's completely lag-free. The power delivery is linear and beautiful. I'm so pleased they've changed nothing about that Ferrari-inspired engine, because they just didn't need to. It's still punching incredibly heavily. And this chassis, I'm struggling to believe this is a 1.8 ton SUV. It's so flat through corners. The steering has a suppleness and sensitivity to it that has got just the right amount of weight. Really easy to position this car on the road, and with real confidence as well. And the brakes, when you really need to haul this thing up, the pedal is transformed. It's a bit weird around town at low speeds, but when you get some heat into them, tons of confidence, really progressive. It doesn't feel as detached anymore. Is this the SUV equivalent of the Giulia Q? I had great expectations that that amazing package was going to transpose into a car with a bit more ground clearance and practicality. And unfortunately, it hasn't completely done that. The Giulia has a lithe suspension setting that can be aggressive when you need it to be, but it's also supple and easy to live with when you don't want to be driving like a maniac. This car, though, doesn't quite do that. It's always a little bit too on edge, a little bit too aggressive. It's still an absolutely astonishing package. And easily the best thing about this car is not its performance, not its looks, it's what comes out of those tailpipes. Controversial, I know, but if you don't like what I'm saying, comment below. You can keep your V8s. This is my favourite sounding high-performance SUV. And another problem, that beautiful, most antisocial, loudest exhaust note is only available in race mode. And when you put it in race mode, it turns off ESC. And if you look at the conditions today, definitely not the kind of weather you want to be turning off traction control. If only there was somewhere I could go to more accurately and safely test the potential of this car. What just happened? This thing is absolutely mental, and that's 200 kilometers an hour. Oh my! There's very few cars that leave me lost for words, but I think the Alfa Stelvio Q just did it. If you have your own personal drag strip at your disposal, the Stelvio Q will do mind-bending things. It's astonishing, but what's even more astonishing is this car is one of the most affordable in its class. In fact, only the Jaguar F-Pace SVR is cheaper. That, for me, is a performance bargain. This car has completely blown my mind. It is devastatingly quick, absolutely beautiful, and a complete hoot to drive. But I was hoping to find the most uncompromising Alfa Romeo I've ever driven. And is it? Yes, it is. It's incredibly versatile. It's got all the performance you'd expect from something wearing that green cloverleaf badge, but it's got added practicality with a huge boot and ground clearance and four-wheel drive. But it's not completely without compromise. The beautiful performance elements of the Giulia Q don't quite work in this car. It's got too much of an edge. It's just a little bit too aggressive to live with day to day. But it is easily the most versatile Alfa Romeo I've ever driven, and without a few compromises, it just wouldn't be an Alfa Romeo.